Hello my friends and welcome to episode 14 of our Football Manager 2020 series with Queen's Park called Going Pro. The last episode of course we played this game against Ross County and we've had a number of games since there, including against today's opponents Clyde, who are the following opponents from that game. Now it is a derby, which is why we've picked this game instead of the Morton game which happened last week. Excuse me. So we played Clyde and we won 2-0. Callum Gallagher and Craig Conway on the score sheet. Callum Gallagher since gone off the boil though, as we then played Peterhead. He didn't score in that game. Craig Conway did, and Sean Arqua scored off the bench before we then played Stranraer. Now, if I mind right, it was about this time that Brad Lyons got injured and Ross McIver got injured at the same time, and both of them were very similar length of time. So Ross McIver didn't get a chance. Mark Lamont went into the right wing slot. Now I didn't pull him, I have pulled him back into midfield because I've promised him that role. But his first game in that position, he got himself a nice little brace. Good result here is that Mark Lamont scored both the goals. Ollie Hamilton got one back for Stranraer. We then played Edinburgh City, who were unbeaten going into this game and top of the league with us. Jack Purdue, Callum Gallagher and Craig Conway on the score sheet there. Before we played probably the best team on paper in the league right now, Dunfermline. They unfortunately beat us 2-1. They have now beat us 3 times this season. The only side, one of only 2 teams in the league to have beat us, is what I was trying to say there. Jack Purdue was on the score sheet for us, but a late Lee Ashcroft header got them the victory. It was a very, very silly one. It was almost looked impossible to score, to be honest, before we then played Airdrie and Brad Lyons returning. I think he came off the bench against Dunfermline, but he returned in this game and got on the score sheet. Mark Lamont on the score sheet again as well. Joseph Moore got one back for Airdrie, but it wasn't enough. As we then went into the sort of defensive formation. I went into the defensive formation also in this game against Morton, but not until much later on. We were 2-0 up. Jack Purdue and Aidan Wilson on the score sheet in this game, and they then started to come towards us, and at that point went into the defensive formation with the 2 DMs. And having Andy Murdoch on the bench allows us to do that in a much more natural way. Campbell Notley also came off the bench and he can fit into that sort of role as well, better than sort of anyone else that we have at the club. So that really worked out for us, and it really stifled any chance of them coming back. So I'm delighted with how that that little change, bring the 2 central midfielders back a position, is working for us in these games. Today we are taking on Clyde. Now we've got a really bad Scottish Cup draw coming up, and I was tempted to delay to that game, but I think I'm going to miss that. We're on quite good schedule this season going forward. Now I do have to cover a few things with you that I've been meaning to cover for a few episodes, including particularly staff. In that regard, I've been meaning to show you that since the start of the season and I've not done it. But we're going to start with finances. We're down to 9.24 in the bank. We're lost about 200,000 this season, so it does show you that my wage budget control and being quite restrictive on it, despite having that big wage budget, is the right thing to do. We've only got a 1,700 seater stadium and we're not even close to filling that out yet, so it's very, very important that we stick religiously to a budget going forward for this season. And if we get promoted, I will probably increase it next season, but reality is if we stay in this division I'll probably reduce it, because a big part of our issue with the budget right now is the size of the squad. We've got Craig Moore here on £275 a week, not getting a game. Sam Jamieson on 120, I really probably shouldn't have renewed his contract. I think the minimum we can offer is 100, which is why you see guys like Tony Buchan on 110. He's not played a game yet. Same with Josh Kindlan, who I've actually got quite high hopes for. But these guys are on decent wages because of that being £100 minimum for a full-time contract. Transfer history though, and that's what I want to talk about, and it's staff. So on the outs, we have Stephen Riley going out. He was a reserves coach who I'm pretty sure was retired. I did try and bring someone in to replace him, but didn't work out. So if we go back to kind of about here, we brought in Rory Fallon and Stephen Notman. I'm sure I covered them. So we brought Mikey McCulloch as a new fitness coach. He was a small upgrade. Ari Tandy in as a physio. He was a big upgrade. This lad in as a scout, again an upgrade. Cameron Stewart and Chris Hunter also in as a scout, another upgrade. David Binney in as a goalkeeping coach, a big upgrade there despite his DDM being quite low. He was a big upgrade. Jack Caldwell came in as a sports scientist. We didn't have one previously, so that was good. And Willie Donaghy in as a coach. He actually resigned from Montserrat to take this role, and he is a huge asset to the team, and he does all my player assessments. If you have a look at when we click on a player and we have a look at his review reports, it's Willie Donaghy, because he's the best at that. So that is one of the best things to do. Is if you don't have a good assistant manager, that put your coach there. It works. Why is Brad Lyons not training the position that I've taught him to? Same with Rico Quitongo, actually. There's a few guys actually not doing that. Support. Anyone else? Yep, Camille Logan. Don't know why it does this. Sometimes Football Manager does it from time to time, where it seems to knock your training off, and I don't understand why. Regan Thompson, look at this progression graph, by the way. Absolutely outstanding from Regan Thompson. He's gone up quite a bit, but he's now almost natural to be in the DM position, and prefers to be in a two-man pairing on the left, which obviously we've used him in, so that's where he sort of developed, and I'm quite ecstatic by that. Dean McMaster's progression bar as well, but if you have a look, it says 1.5 star here, and then 2.5, and he's still, well, he's at 3 now. But the point being there is, for whatever reason, it does the same with Aidan Wilson and Ryan Mullen, so I'm not sure why that is the case. But if we have a look at progress and go up the way, other than them, in fact, Will Graham and Yannick Lebois showing the same. Jack Purdue seems to be a bit up and down. Regan Thompson's there. Matthew Henry really kicked on, but I wonder if he's shown the same sort of thing. Nope, he's actually just really kicked on. But he's obviously not getting games this year, as we've brought in Callum Gallagher to the first team and Sean Arduarka, who hasn't really hit the ground running, to be truthful. So Matthew Henry might be worth doing. Contract wise, we've only got from here down Craig Conway, who triggered his releases. So we've got Jack McCourt, Dylan Easton, Rico Kaswongo, Mark Lamont, Jack Purdue, Ross McIver, Will Graham, Ryan Mullen, Regan Thompson, Tony Buchan, Andy Murdoch, Jack O'Tegger, Dean McMaster, Nick McAllister, Campbell Nutley, Gareth York and John Kildane is locked for next season, which means that, you know, we can really trim that wage budget down going forward. For some reason it's let me give £95 a week here at Daniel Farrell, but I couldn't offer less than 100 to Kildane. I don't understand why. So that's kind of where we're going. Club Vision, I did have a couple of requests declined. That's fine. Obviously the money thing with the extra 5 million was my mistake. Going forward with this series, I'm thinking I'm going to go to a Monday to Friday every day, which is why I've not had any content last week. Obviously this as planned should go out on Wednesday if I do that. But I'm kind of thinking that might be the best way to go. Nick McAllister is unfortunately injured. He's out for another 3 to 5 weeks, and he has really kicked on as well. Very, very good player. Unfortunately he torn an abdominal muscle, which is a bit of a hit for us, because every other one of our centre backs is unhappy apart from Nick Cooney, who, when I reduced his playing time agreement, was a bit happier. Daryl McGatt is unhappy. Kyle Benedictus is unhappy. In fact, Cooney's actually played a couple of games because of Benedictus being unhappy, and I didn't think his performances were great, but I've brought him back in today because I feel that we need that experience for a game against Clyde. So we're starting today's game with probably our strongest team, in all honesty, as it warms up. The players, we've gone with Ryan Mullen in goal, with Williams, Benedictus, Aidan Wilson and Gibson in midfield defence, Thompson, Lamont, Lyons, Purdue, Conway in the midfield, and I've gone with Callum Gallagher up top. As much as he came off the boil, I've tried to get Arduarka in games, and he's not really done much to impress. They do have Neil Stoos, who we released earlier in the season. I don't think I covered that, but we released him because his wages were quite high. He wanted to go to another unhappy defender, and I thought if we can get rid of one of them, that's fine, and he was happy, except a contract termination of £4,000, which was cheaper than the £16,000 would have paid him to be on the bench or in the reserves, unhappy for the season. That was £16,000. So hopefully we can get a result here. We are top of the league by 3 points against Dumbarton, so this start to the season, although it's been a bit shaky, particularly games against Dumbarton and league table, Dumbarton and Dunfermline in particular, we've done enough to get ourselves top by 3 points, and our goal difference is far superior because we've not conceded a whole lot of goals, but there does seem to be a big gap opening up between 5th and the rest of the table, so it looks like it's going to be a 5-horse race for the playoffs and promotion slots, where everyone looks fairly similar. Edinburgh City obviously haven't had a big drop off since we beat them. They were unbeaten going into that. It's Callum Gallagher with the header straight at Rams bottom, unfortunately for us. Gave a get creative there, just try and kick us on a little bit. As Rams bottom launches out. Win it. Oh, not even trying to win it, just let him have the ball to bring it down. That's not like us. Regan Thompson doing a bit of pressing there, but again, not enough for my liking. We've had 6 shots, 6 on target, and we've only had 1 highlight, and they've had 1 highlight. Neil Slooves brings it out, former Queen's Park player, of course, with us last season. Done very well, just not enough to really kick on this season as Purdue has it. Done well. Oh, Jack Purdue. Neil Slooves lost the ball to Callum Gallagher, who got it to Jack Purdue. And he sort of gets tripped by Slooves. I was thinking it might be a foul here, but good pressing from Gallagher. Purdue picks it up. Slooves comes out, trips him up just inside the box, but Purdue strikes it. Don't need a penalty when you're going to hit goals like that. Purdue is in a bit of form just now. As the strikers have dropped off, Purdue has stepped up, so I'm happy with that. As Aidan Wilson with this free kick gets it to Gibson. Aidan Wilson, I was actually thinking that I was going to drop, and McGatt came to me and said, I want some more first time football on it. At the same time, Aidan Wilson started kicking on. I gave McGatt a game, but his match fitness is so low that I'm trying to play him in the reserves to get that up, and it just can't get it up. Get it playing. Unfortunately, lost the ball there. It's cleared away, and Dingwall again on the break. Benedictus with him, but he's gone past. Good closing down here, but unfortunately McStay's in there. That was a big chance against us. Going to go with a bit of praise here, just, encourage them. We're winning. Just try and keep them happy. Unfortunately now we've started putting shots off target, so that's never ideal. As things stand, we go 5 points clear of Dumbarton, so that is good. Dumbarton are playing Stranraer, so I would expect them to win that at some point. Things are going well, but you're capable of better. I'll go with that one. And then you weren't bad, but you're capable of better again. Just the sort of double. Come on, guys. Let's kick on. Thing. Regan Thompson not having a great game in midfield. I might bring on Andy Murdoch for him. 6.3 isn't great. To be honest, though, Lamont's the one that's tiring, but I think we get the player who's not playing great off. And Murdoch's sort of more well-rounded, more experienced. It's never a bad option. And Regan Thompson's development's not going to be hurt by coming off 65 minutes into a game against Clyde too much. As Benedictus launches forward. Smith lines with the press. Slooves clears. Murdoch wins the header only as far as Fraser. But we're actually in a decent defensive shape here, but unfortunately a big long ball across Ross, held by Mullen. Is that their first shot on target? It was indeed. Right, we need to make another change. I think we're going to bring on Yannick Laboa for Craig Conway. Get some fresh legs up there. Make the change. Is another highlight of us losing a corner. Going to go with Demand More here. I don't actually have many defensive options to bring on. We will bring on Cammy Logan, get some fresh legs on that right hand side, as Williams also booked, and Tyron is launched out. Williams launches it forward. That's a great ball, and Callum Gallagher with the run. Oh, he's hit it near post. Got to go across goal there, Callum. As I'm saying, his form's really dipped off. Cammy Logan is on now. Lions with the free kick, the corner rather. That's the longest highlight in the world, but another one in now. Benedictus over the bar from the former Dundee man. Come on, just see out the game. Just see it out now. Praise. Fire them up a bit, but unfortunately only a couple responded. But that's a 1-0 win for us. Jack Purdue's goal. Enough in the end to get us over the line. They only had one shot on target all game, and it was a pretty tame one. But they did have big chances. We need to be making sure we're taking ours going forward, because we can't keep relying on that little bit of magic from Jack Purdue. We need to be getting our striker scoring goals, and right now he's not. So we go 5 points clear at the top of League One, which is good for us. Dunfermline lost as well to Airdrie, which is actually very good for us because that gives us even more breathing space against them. Edinburgh City won, so they've caught up a bit. Morton drew, I think. No, they lost to Edinburgh City, so that's kind of worked out for us really well actually. Results everywhere else went our way there. So we've pulled away from everyone but Edinburgh City, who had dropped down to 5th going into that game. So we're 7 points clear of Edinburgh, Morton and Dunfermline, well 5 clear of Dumbarton. We just need to manage this league now, and I'm pretty content with where the team is. And we put our rivals into the drop zone. That's always a nice thing to do. Schedule wise, I think we're going to skip ahead straight to Dunfermline again. Dunfermline have been a bit of a bogey team for us now. My head goes going through the Airdrie game, but I might have made a signing by then, or I might have made a sale by then, and then that sort of negates some of the plans. So I think Dunfermline is the game to come back for. It's a big game. We've not beat them yet this season. We've played them 3 times and never won, so I think that's the game that I'm going to come back for. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. If you have, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.